Hi. Today is Patreon rewards video day. Hooray. Um last couple of months I've had a little bit of work to show. So it's been kind of like, I think it's about 2 or 3 months where there was only a little bit. This is the complete opposite. This month I've got way too much work to show, and so there's a big list of stuff. So I'm going to get started and show you what I've got. Beginning with the comic, I finally finished it, so yay. So here's the finished comic. Okay. Here's the finished comic. Hooray, I'm done. It only took, I started in February, I think. Yikes. That's just too long. I'm going to take a short break, maybe. I'm thinking maybe from the comic. Maybe not. I don't know. It actually depends on whether or not I've got ideas for other things. So if I have ideas for other things, I'm going to work on those. If I have nothing, if I'm like at my lunch break going, what should I draw? I am going to just work on my comic, because that's like an automatic. It's already set up. It's ready to go. All I have to do is work on it. So that's what I'm going to do moving forward with the comic. Anytime I have no illustration that I just feel like doing, inspiration to do something else, I'm going to work on my comic, because that is the default. And that's actually really helpful, because it keeps me moving forward with the comic, but it also gives me something to do that makes it so that I'm not just sitting around waiting for inspiration, right? So it gives me something to work toward even when I have nothing to work on, like or have an inspiration for some kind of illustration that I want to do. I'm just going to keep working on the comic. So here's this comic here. And I did a video of this, so you guys get the final version here. Okay, so I was trying to come up with ideas for illustrations, and I was thinking doing a Divine Mercy picture, and I still may do it, but I just wasn't. The thing is that I did the Postcard image, and really that sort of kind of, I would have to do the same face again. I just don't like. I felt like I was retreading what I had already done, even if it was a little bit different. It just felt like it was I was basically redoing something, and it bugged me. It bugged me. So I may go back to it. Maybe I may come. Maybe I don't know. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll get inspired and want to do it. And then so I had this, like, you could see it behind. I went on Pinterest. There were like these templates for like icons. And I thought they were really interesting. And I'm like, what if I use the template? So that's what I did. I took the template. You could see it underneath. I think it's Jesus in here. Yeah, it's Jesus. But I said, what if I took this template and then just did my own thing, right? Like my own version, like my own, in my own style. And so I did that, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then I still may go back to it. I don't know. Like, so I was just kind of like, do I really feel like doing this right now? And so that's abandoned. I may get back to it. Maybe I'll eventually like get really into it. I don't know. Okay, so I have been. I did for months, off and on. I was working on this. I haven't finished it, but this is one of the few full body digital paintings that I've been working on. And if you see all these little blotches all around, that's because I'm mixing the colors myself. So I'm not color picking. From the little color palette on I'm actually mixing the colors myself so that the idea being that I'm only using the colors on the palette here, and that should unify the colors, right? That they're all coming from the same place. They're all one color. They should harmonize more. That's what I'm trying to say. And this is one of those things where there's a reason why I tend not to do full body, is that the face alone took a long time. And then once I finished the face, then I'm working my way down. And all this stuff took a long time. And now I got to do all of this, and that's all. So this is how rough it looked like before I started tightening things up. So it's still a work in progress, but I just thought I'd send the work in progress so that you could at least see the work in progress. So yeah. A friend of mine who is working on an animated series / short called Paranormality. His name is Larry Whitaker. He's one of my co-hosts of the Corner Booth podcast. I'll link to the Corner Booth in the description of this video. But so you could hear us talk about animation. And he's working on an animated short, and he's been doing it for years. Like I said, it's called Paranormality. Look him up. Ghost Train Pictures. And he's on Instagram and stuff like that. I'll link to all of Larry's stuff on the description. So he asked me to do some concepts for just general merch stuff that for the cartoons, so that like anybody who's really into it can have some souvenirs for it, right? And Paranormality is about a dog and a baby who are usually get in trouble with some kind of paranormal something, right? And so he wanted some really graphic images, and so I came up with some ideas. Let me see if I can. Here it is. So my wife and I we went to we had our anniversary in September. No wait, I'm sorry, in August last month, and we went to a hotel in Hollywood, which I don't recommend going anywhere near Hollywood, by the way. But there was a Van Gogh thing going on there, and we kind of missed it now, so we're going to be going today. But anyway, I didn't bring my sketchbook, and we ended up going to this hotel, and in the hotel they have these little notepads, and I picked it up and I did a little sketch. I'll show you the sketch is up here. So I used this. It's blank. This notepad. I'm like, hey, look, little mini. And then I had the little pen. So I just took it and put it in my pocket. And this is the this is a nice little sketchbook. I actually appreciate it. I can take it anywhere. So I used this sketchbook to do the sketches that you see here for this Paranormality little things, and so these are just ideas, just rough sketches. So this is just coming up with concepts and stuff, so you can see that I'm just kind of, it's a scribble pass, right? And then once I did the scribble pass, then I came and I did a rougher, this is rough, idea execution of the ideas. So you get to see them here. But again, these are all rough concepts of stuff for that. And then here's this month's postcard. And I did make a video of this month's postcard this month, and that is so it should be on my channel. I don't remember if I've posted it yet or not, but if I haven't, it will be up soon. But the person who won this, by the way, is Helena Ross. I believe Helena Ross has won multiple times. So congratulations. But this is this month's postcard. And so everybody on my Patreon gets not only put in the drawing to see who wins the original, but anybody who subscribes to my Patreon gets a high resolution digital version. No matter what tier you're at, you get a high res digital version of the postcard. Okay, so I did do a saint this month. I was working on a drawing of Saint Augustine. So Saint Augustine is an Algerian ancient Roman. He was a Roman citizen. He was born in what is now Algeria, Africa. So I wanted him to look Algerian. And I've gotten a lot of feedback from people who thought that I made him look too black. Sorry. But he's an Algerian, and I don't know what else to tell you, except that, the Algerians tend to have very specific Middle Eastern look to them, and there's a fine line between that and some people just got very upset about it. But there we go. And once I'm done with this, I'm going to talk a little bit more about St. Augustine. So this is the final. So here are the rough ideas. So here's my first pass. I thought he looked too generic here, and I wanted to push him the same way that I pushed the Jesus drawing that I had done. I wanted to really just caricature him a little bit more, and this is much too bland. So I pushed him more over here, and then I did some sketches, made him look up. I drew him looking up, and then I thought maybe he should be holding his heart, and then I drew him holding his heart up here, looking at his heart, and then I'm like, I don't like that so much. Maybe if he's looking up to heaven, holding up his heart, it would be better. So that's what I did. And then I actually took a picture of this. I brought it into Clip Studio Paint, and then I did a tighter version of it. And this is what it ended up looking like, the final line art. So next month you'll get the full color version of it. So that's St. Augustine. And again, I'll talk about St. Augustine next month. And that's it. That is it. So there's a lot more art this month than usual. See, look how much there is. So yeah, that's it for me. I'm very happy with the amount of work that I did finish. I'm happy that I finished my comic, and by the way, when I said I'm coming up with inspiration and for illustrations, they're going to be a little bit more on this end, where I'm just trying to come up with interesting depictions of saints, which I'm actually having a lot of fun with. And of course there's the comic that I'm working on. And by the way, I did start already kind of thumbnailing and roughing out the next comic, which is just super wordy. It's got so many words, and as much as I wanted to keep it down to only 4 panels, I ended up going 5. Similar to this, where there's 5 panels here too. But well, anyway, all right. So thank you so much for your support. By the way, I'm going to remind you once again, if you're watching this, that I do have a course up if you're interested in learning to draw, especially if you don't know anything about drawing at all. Like if you can't draw yourself out of a paper bag, if you can't draw a stick figure, you can't draw a straight line. Well, I made a course specifically for that, so you could understand the mindset behind drawing, so that you could learn to draw you could learn the basics of drawing, so that you could at least at the very end be able to do some really graphic, cartoony drawings, which will be the stepping stone to more elaborate types of art. But first you need to learn to walk before you could run. So I take you from knowing nothing to at least being confident enough to put down shapes and not be afraid to draw in the first place, and that which will lead to more gaining confidence, which will lead you to be able to draw more. So if you're interested in that course, I'll have a description among all the other links. I will have a link to that among all the other links, the ones for Larry's stuff and for the corner booth. I will also have a link to that course if you are interested. All right, so thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your patronage, and I will talk to you next time. All right, bye.